All right, hi there, everybody. Back to 1908 we go. This, I believe, is May 27th, 1908. It is. And we have the St. Louis Browns at the New York Highlanders for you. I've said this every time they play. The 1908 New York Highlanders are not my favorite team in the world, and I kind of am happy when I see them lose with Hal Chase and company. New York has lost 8 in a row. The Browns are in second place. They've won 3 in a row, 22-15 for the Browns and 10-27 for the Highlanders. The Cleveland Naps, who just won the other day, are in first place, and they are equal in wins with the Browns and the Athletics. The difference is in the loss column because of the number of games the teams have played. And so it's one of those complicated arrangements. We're not going to worry too much about that right now. We're going to just get into this. And here is Hope Ferris, the first hitter for the Browns, up against Jack Chesbro. Chesbro is 2-6 with a 2.62 ERA. The roll is a 62 for a 12, and there's a little E roll right off the bat. It's going to be a 45. That will be a ground ball in the end over to first base. Chase makes the play and goes to the bag himself. 1 away, and here comes Jimmy Williams. Williams is hitting 245, and he rolls a 56 for a 34. There is a little E roll once again. And this time is a 56 out of the range. Pop up over to short, and Ball makes that catch. 2 away. Here comes George Stone. Stone rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball over to third base. Moriarty fields that and throws to first. And that does it for the top of the first. So we go now to the bottom of the first inning, and there's no score. Here comes Harry Niles for the Highlanders up against Jack Powell. Powell with a 4-3 record, 2.12 ERA. Roll is a 16 for a 26. A ground ball over to Williams, who throws to first, and there's 1 away. Here's wee Willie Keeler. Keeler hitting 279, and his roll 25 for an 8. That'll be a ground ball to short, and Hartzell has that on to first. 2 gone. Charlie Hemphill now, and he rolls a 61 for a 40. Changed to a 36. That'll just be a ball. We'll try it again. So 26 for a 27. Ground ball to third base. Ferris has that, and Hope throws over to first for the out. Go to the top of the second inning, and there is still no score. Here comes Roy Hartzell hitting 261, and that's a fairly good average for 1908. It rolls a 56 for a 34. Little E rolls a 21. That's in that range, and so that'll be changed to an 18, and that ends up being an error on Neil Ball. And so Hartzell makes it to first. He's got an 11 on his card. Schweitzer hitting 222. I think we're going to try the hit and run instead of the bunt. Let's see what happens. The roll 46 for a 13, and that's a strike him out, throw him out, and that's what we were worried about. So double play on that one. 2 away, and here comes Jones. Tom rolls a 54 for a 45. The little E roll is a 23, so it's in the range. That's changed to a 19. That'll be an error on Moriarty. And so Jones makes it to first, and here comes Tubby Spencer. We've had nothing but errors here, no hits. Rolls a 13 for a 36. That's going to be a wild pitch, and that'll send Jones to second. So runner in scoring position now, 2 away. And this rolls an 11 for a 7. That's a single to right field, and that'll score the runner. So the first hit of the ball game is an RBI for Tubby Spencer, and that'll bring up Danny Hoffman with the runner on at first and 2 outs. There's 2 outs, so Danny's not going to bunt. The roll's a 65 for a 35. It's a foul out, and it'll be Klein now, the catcher, making that catch for the out. And so we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Hal Chase here to lead this one off. Chase is hitting 214, and we can talk all about he would have been the best player of all time if he wasn't crooked. He's not hitting like that. Rolls a 13 for a 37, changed to 39. That'll be a strike on Hal. Next roll is a 25 for an 11, so he gets a base hit and then steals second just like that. Means Jake Stahl is up there now with the potential tying run in scoring position. 1 hit for each team. Stahl's roll 23 for a 32, fly ball to right, and it's going to be Hoffman making the catch. 1 away. Here comes Neil Ball. Ball rolls a 53 for a 19, and he's hit by the pitch and will take first base. That'll bring up Moriarty. And the reason why I have Moriarty, not Whit Conroy, on there is because Moriarty can hit. He's hitting 222. It's not hitting very well, but I think the other guy was hitting like, I can't remember what it was. Whit Conroy was hitting like 130 or 120 or something. So we're going to bunt anyway with Moriarty. And the roll is a 53 for an 18, and that's going to be an error on the catcher. So the catcher, Spencer, picks up the error. It does count as a bunt for Moriarty, and the base is now loaded. And here comes Red Kleinow, and the infield will come in early. Kleinow almost certainly going to bunt. Just looking for those 13s, that's the danger zone. You have 1, 2 of them. So we're going to have him bunt. Rolls a 16 for a 28. That's a bunt over to first base. It'll be fielded by Jones. He has to turn around and flip it to Williams, and the run has scored. So the score is tied 2 away now, and here's Jack Chesbro, and that's the way you play a small ball. Chesbro up there hitting 067 is Jack, and the roll is a 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball to center. Schweitzer has that for the out. That'll do it. So we go to the top of the third inning, and it's a 1-1 score, tie ball game. Here comes Jack Powell. Powell hitting 250, good for a pitcher, rolls a 63 for a 29. Kind of a little ground ball back to Chesbro, who throws to first, 1 away. Tell you, in 1908, 250 is good for an anybody. Here's Hope Ferris. He rolls a 34 for a 44. Next roll is a 22. That's going to be within the little E range, and so that'll be an error this time on Chesbro, the pitcher. Third error of the game charged to the Highlanders, and that's the reason why I don't like playing with this team. It gets pretty ugly. So here now, Jimmy Williams with the runner on at first, and it's time for him to bunt. Rolls a 12 for a 25, but there is a little E roll. And it's a 51. So it's a bunt that's popped up. It's going to be Kleinow making the catch and throwing to Chase for the double play. And that ends the inning, I'm sorry. So we go now to the bottom of the third inning, and it's a 1-1 tie still. Here comes Harry Niles. Niles today 0 for 1. He rolls a 53 for a 20. And that's going to be a ground ball over to second. It's fielded there by Williams, who throws to first. 1 away. Here's Willie Keeler. Keeler rolls a 16 for a 26. It's another ground ball to second. Williams throws to first, and there's 2 away. Charlie Hemphill now rolls a 61 for a 40. That's a foul ball. Next roll is a 51 for an A. That's a fly ball over to center field. Hemphill has that one. Schweitzer has that one for the out. And we go now to the top of the fourth inning. So I was confused with the placement of the yellow marker, which is one of the things in this game that should be fixed, because sometimes it shows up for both teams, Cyrus, if you're watching this. Here comes George Stone. Stone rolls a 42 for a 14. That'll be a walk. And that brings up Roy Hartzell. Hartzell hitting 259. And the question is, well, what do we do? Do we want to run Stone, or do we want to have Hartzell bunt? We'll look at the card. Stone does have that 11, so we probably should just run him. And the roll's a 52 for a 27, so we stay out of the double play, do the Browns. There's a ground ball to third. Moriarty fields it, throws to first. Stone moves to second. 1 away, and here comes Al Schweitzer. Schweitzer's 0 for 1 today. He struck out, and that allowed Hartzell to be thrown out stealing. The roll is a 36 for a 33. There is a little E-roll, however, and it's a 13. It's going to be another error on the Highlanders. It's changed to an 18, and that'll be an error on ball. It's not too bad. Stone couldn't move with that ball hit in front of him, but Schweitzer on at first base. 4th error of the game on the Highlanders. Only 1 hit for each team, and here comes Tom Jones. So Tom Jones with runners on at first and second, and I guess we're going to have him swing away. 1 out. And the roll's a 41 for a 28. Ground ball to short, and Ball flips that one over to Niles for 1, but they can't get Jones at first base despite his lack of speed. So there's 2 away now. Here comes Tubby Spencer. And the roll 63 for a 30. Fly ball to left. That'll be caught there by Stahl for the out. We go now to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's still a 1-1 game. Here's Hal Chase. Chase rolls 36 for a 33. It's a pop-up to the left side. I'm sorry, the right side. Williams, the second baseman, grabs that for the out. 1 away. Jake Stahl now. 0 for 1 today. Rolls a 63 for a 31. Fly ball to center, and Schweitzer has that. 2 away. Here comes Neil Ball. Ball's roll is a 21 for a 30. Another fly ball to left, and Stone has that for the out. Very quick inning. We go now to the top of the 5th inning, and it's still a 1-1 ball game. Here comes Danny Hoffman. Danny rolls a 62 for a 12. Ground ball to first. And that'll be fielded by Chase, and he goes to the bag himself. 1 away. Here's Jack Powell. Powell rolls a 35 for a 13, and there's a strikeout. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Hope Ferris. Ferris rolls a 63 here for a 31. Fly ball over to Hemphill in center. He squeezes that for the out. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still a 1-1 game with only 1 hit for either side. Here comes Moriarty again. He reached on a error last time when he tried to bunt. Hitting 222, and the roll is a 25 for 11. That's a single to left, and then he steals second. That's the reason why we have him hitting where he's hitting, and that'll bring up Red Kleinow. Red has only 7 RBIs, but I think we're going to have him swing away instead of bunting. Let's see what happens. And the roll for Red is a 62 for a 12. He strikes out. There's 1 away. Up next, Jack Chesbro. And Chesbro with a runner on second base, he rolls a 43 for a 29. The ground ball over to the first baseman. Jones flips over to Powell, covering at the bag for the out. There's 2 away, and here comes Harry Niles. And ooh, look at that. Niles rolls an 11 for a 0 and a 56 for a 6. So he gets a big hit deep to right, in there for a double. Third hit of the ballgame for the Highlanders. That easily scores the run. It's a 2-1 lead for New York, and that will bring up Wee Willie Keeler. Keeler looking to add to the lead. He rolls a 51 for a 9, and that's a single that will score the runner. Keeler's then thrown out trying to steal second, but it doesn't matter much because it's now a 3-1 lead for New York. And so now into the top of the 6th inning, and the Browns are down by 2. That brings up Jimmy Williams, the second baseman, to lead this off. He's 0 for 2 today. His roll is a 43 for a 29. It's a comebacker to Chesbro, who throws to first for the out, 1 away. George Stone now, and he rolls a 26 for a 27, ground ball to third, and Moriarty has that, throws to first. There's 2 gone, and here's Roy Hartzell. Roy rolls a 62 for a 12. There's a little E-roll. It's a 32, and that'll be a ground ball over to the first baseman, Chase, who goes to the bag himself for the out. And now we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still a 3-1 lead for the Highlanders, and the way that Chesbro's been pitching, it might hold up. Hemphill rolls a 26 for a 27. Ground ball to the left side. Ferris has that on to first, 1 away. Hal Chase up next. And Chase rolls a 46 for a 27. It's a ground ball again to third. And it'll be Ferris throwing to first, 2 away. And here comes Jake Stahl. Stahl rolls a 44 for an 8. That'll be a fly ball over to center field. Schweitzer makes the catch out there for the out. And we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's still a 3-1 lead for the Highlanders. That will bring up Schweitzer here. Schweitzer today 0 for 2. He struck out, as I mentioned before, and got into that double play. And he was also aboard on an error, one of the 4 errors that the Highlanders have committed. His roll is a 64 for a 22, and that's going to be, I think, another error. It is. That'll be an error on Chesbro. That ball was hit back to him, and he ended up booting it instead of getting it to first, and that'll bring up Tom Jones. And so the Browns now with maybe a chance to do something. Schweitzer does have an 11, so you could hit and run. But they haven't had much luck with that recently. Jones does have 1, 2, 3 strikeout numbers that I can see right away, so we'll have him bunt. And the roll is a 64 for a 13, so he lucked out that he wasn't trying to do the hit and run. We'll try it again. 46 for a 30. It's a bunt to the left side, and Moriarty fields that, throws over to Niles, covering at first, and Schweitzer moves up to second. So there's 1 away, and here comes Tubby Spencer. Spencer hitting 184 is only driven in 3. He hasn't played that much, of course. He rolls a 45 for a 14, and that's a walk. And that puts it all in the hands of Danny Hoffman, who's a very weak hitting outfielder, hitting 190. And so, I mean, you bunt with him, you get to Powell, but with 2 out. I think we swing away here with Hoffman, sort of see what happens. We'll swing away with Danny, and look at that. It's a 44 against the C's. That's going to be a single over short, and that'll score 1 and send the other one to second base. And so the Browns are coming back in this game. It's a 3-2 ball game now, and here comes Jack Powell, the pitcher. So he's going to bunt. There's no question about that. The roll is a 62 for a 12. There is a little E roll. It's a 52. It's out of the range, and so that will be a strikeout as Powell misses 3 chances to bunt. 2 away, and here comes Hope Ferris. Kind of a weird result, if you ask me. And look at that. Ferris rolls an 11 for a 0. This is going to tie the game at least. Then a 16 for a 7. That's a single to left, and that'll score. That will not score 1. How about that? The runner was slow. The runner Spencer's thrown out of the plate. And so that means that's the 3rd out of the inning. A big single for Ferris, but it's not quite enough. And man, oh man, the way that this one has turned. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning now, and it's a 3-2 lead for New York. Here comes Neil Ball. 3 hits for the Browns, 4 for the Highlanders. Brown rolls a 62 for a 12. It's a ground ball to first, and Jones fields it, goes to the bag himself. 1 away, and here comes Moriarty. And George rolls a 33 for an 8, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Hartzell throws to first. 2 gone, and here's Red Kleinow. His roll 53 for a 19 changed to 15, and that will be a fly ball over to Stone and left, and he muffs it. Kleinow will be on first base on the air, and that'll bring up Jack Chesbro with 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. And Jack rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball to third. It's fielded by Ferris. He goes the short way to Williams for the force out. We go now to the top of the 8th inning, and it's a 3-2 lead here for the Highlanders. Here comes Jimmy Williams. Williams is 0 for 3. His roll 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball to center, and Hemphill has that one for the out, one away. George Stone now. Stone rolls a 62 for a 12. There is a little E-roll. It's a 53, so it's out of the range. Ground ball over to first, and Chase has that, goes to the bag himself. There's 2 away. Roy Hartzell up now, and he rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball to right, and Willie Keeler will squeeze that one in his mitt. And we go now to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it remains a 3-2 lead for the Highlanders. Here comes Harry Niles. Niles rolls a 51 for a 10, and there's a single to center field, so he will be 2 for 4 today. That brings up Keeler. Niles does have the ability to run, and they're going to run with him. The roll here is 65 for a 35, and that's a strike. Niles is safe, however, at second. That's why you want to make sure he has an 11 so he can steal it. Next roll for Keeler is a 62 for a 12. That's a strikeout, so there's 1 away. Here's Charlie Hemphill. Roll here is a 45 for a 14, and he walks, and that'll bring up Chase. Chase hitting 4th, and we may need to change this lineup again as I'm looking at this. I'm not sure I want him hitting 4th. Yeah, we'll have him swing away. He's hitting 217, but he's 1 for 3 today. We'll try that again. That was between 2 numbers. There we go. It's a 36 for a 33. It's a pop-up over to the left side. Hartzell, the shortstop, has that for the out. There's 2 away. Here comes Jake Stahl. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Fly ball to left field. Stone has that one for the out. And so we go to the top of the 9th inning, and it still is a 3-2 lead for New York. Here comes Al Schweitzer to lead this off. Al rolls a 45 for a 14. That's a walk by Chesbro. He's now walked 3. 18th walk given up by Chesbro so far this season. That brings up Tom Jones, who's not much of a hitter. He has sacrificed once today and reached on an error. Also grounded out with the fielder's choice. He's going to bunt. It rolls a 41 for a 28. Good bunt back to Chesbro. He flips over to Niles at first. And that will bring up again Tubby Spencer. He's already driven in 1. He was thrown out trying to score there in that 7th inning. And so Spencer with 1 out, hoping for another base hit. 1 for 2, hitting 184. Rolls a 51 for a 9. It's a ground ball to first. Chase goes to the bag himself. Schweitzer goes to third. 2 away. And here comes Danny Hoffman, and I don't think we're going to let him hit for himself, are we? Take a quick look here around the bench. Yeah, we're going to have Bobby Wallace come in to hit for him. Wallace is hitting 206, but with 16 men driven in. Got a runner on at third base, 2 outs. The roll's a 26 for a 27. It's a ground ball over to third. And the third baseman, Moriarty, makes the play over to first for the out. And so the Highlanders win this one. They'll advance to 11-27, and the Browns go to 22-16, and they will fall behind a little bit more. Very close game, very exciting game. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. And I will talk with you again tomorrow. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.